I wanted to talk more about the ways that Halo 2 and Halo CE feel very different from one another. I'm gonna break this up into 10 reasons. So let's get into it. Here's 10 ways that Halo 2 feels different from Halo CE. Number 1, the guns just feel weaker. I mean, okay, so look at Halo 1. I have the pistol here. The pistol is overpowered, a lot of people say, which might actually be true, because look at this. I can shoot this Banshee and it explodes so easily. I mean, like, I feel like in Halo 2, if you were to shoot a Banshee with the pistol, it's not gonna blow up. And there it goes, it blows up in like one clip. At least on normal difficulty. I'm on normal difficulty when I recorded this. But the guns just don't feel like they hit as hard. Like, you can shoot enemies in Halo 2, and I mentioned this before, and it doesn't feel like it really hurts them that much. I mean, like, I can shoot this grunt from like a mile away. I can shoot this grunt and he just drops like a ton of bricks. The guns just do not hit as hard. And just, the guns also sound quieter in Halo 2. Like, I don't know what it is, if it's just me or what, but it just seems like it sounds a lot quieter. And it just doesn't feel as satisfying, and I do not like it. So, the guns are definitely better in Halo CE. Number 2, and one of you from the other video pointed this out, and I totally agree with you, I forgot to mention this, is they removed the health bar. You have no health bar in any of the other games. It's only a thing in Halo 1. And while this might seem like a minor issue, it does affect, like, you die a lot easier, it seems. Like, it was nice that if your shield was down, you could still take a few hits. But it seems like in Halo 2, you take like one hit, when your shield is down, you're dead. Like, that's all there is to it. And I don't know, it just was an interesting part of the game, and I don't really know why they removed it. I don't really have much else to say about that. So, that's it. Moving on. Okay, so this next one is one that has always kind of bothered me, and that is that there is way less blood in all the other games. The first Halo is way bloodier. I mean, look at all that blood that just spurted out of that elite. I mean, there's blood gushing out when you shoot him or blow them up. And you can even hear the blood splat and hit the ground. And like, if you hit a dead body, so much blood comes out. Compared to Halo 2, I mean, look at that. Nothing. Freaking nothing. And when you shoot them, there's barely any blood that comes out either. What is up with that? Maybe they wanted to make the game more kid-friendly, and I was like, kid-friendly? This is not a game for kids. This was always made to be a game for, like, older teenagers and adults. Like, this was never a kid's game in my eyes. Like, maybe that was the reason. I highly doubt that, though. Just look at that. Just, there's no blood when you shoot someone. That's just ridiculous. Like, I'm blowing your face off with a shotgun. I expect to see more than a drop of blood. This brings me to my next point, which is that the deaths just aren't as interesting. Remember earlier how I said they drop like a ton of bricks? Well, I feel like they just kind of flop around like ragdolls in Halo 2. And in Halo 1, I mean, they drop when you hit them. Like, they drop and they go stiff. And like, when you kill like a grunt, the way that they scream is so much more satisfying. Like, they're like, blah, when in Halo 2, they're just kind of like, like, it all boils down to just not being as satisfying. Another thing that I mentioned in my other video is that grenades just do not hit the same. The grenades have less blast radius, they do less damage, they don't send the enemies flying through the air as much, and that just bothers me. You see what I mean? It just sends them flying farther. I couldn't get a good enough angle to really show it off, but you saw that grunt go flying, right? Well, that doesn't really happen in Halo 2. I already went over this in my other video, but I'm gonna bring it up again. Halo 2 just doesn't feel as creepy as Halo CE, and it doesn't really have that horror kind of fear, that suspense element. And like, that's okay, I guess, but that's kind of what I like. I love horror. I love scary shit. So It disappointed me a lot that it didn't live up to that. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this since I already talked about it in my other video, but just wanted to bring it up. Number 7, they removed the fucking assault rifle. Why? It was a good gun. It was useful. They replaced it with the SMG in Halo 2. The SMG sucks. I hate the SMG. I hate it. The assault rifle is way better. And I don't see any reason why they didn't have it in Halo 2. Dumb. No excuses. Number 8, the hunters are really lame. They're just not as cool as they were in the first one. There's no more exploding rounds, just these dumb laser guns. And their melee attack does less damage than it used to, and it doesn't knock you nearly as far. Like, they can hit you, and it's like you just got pushed by a school bully. It barely pushes you. It's like getting pushed by a school bully in, like, kindergarten. Like, it feels like nothing. The original hunters would hit you. Sometimes they would hit me, and it would launch me so high into the air that I would end up in, like, a weird part of the map that you weren't even supposed to be in. And I really liked their exploding rounds. Sometimes they would shoot an exploding round and blow some shit up, and it would kill some, like, enemies for you. And it was just a lot of fun, and I really miss that. This brings me to my next point, which is that Halo 2 just seems to have heavier gravity in general, and this is like a really inexplicable thing that I can't really explain, but you probably know what I mean. You just kind of feel like everything's heavier, not just you, but all the enemies and Marines around you, as well as like vehicles, just feel heavier. It's hard to explain. It just feels different. Speaking of feeling different, that brings me to my final point, which is that the game just inexplicably has a different feel overall. It just has a different overall feel to it that I cannot explain, and I'm sorry that I can't explain it, but I don't know if the game runs on a different engine or something like that, or if the engine was modified, but it does not feel like it's in the same game. Sometimes it doesn't even feel like it's in the same universe as the other game. And maybe they did that on purpose. Maybe a lot of you said that maybe it was because it is in another universe, or that it has another, it's supposed to have a different feel to it, which is fair. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Halo 2. Some of you thought that maybe I didn't like Halo 2, but I do. It's just, I don't like it for the same reasons, and it just does not feel the same to me. Maybe it's just that the first Halo just left so much more of an impression on me than the second one did. Because that was like the first real violent game I ever played, and I played the first Halo first. So maybe that's why Halo CE just is different to me. But yeah, that's all my points I wanted to make. I just wanted to go into more detail about how the game was different, and a lot of you said that I was showing Halo 2 footage when talking about Halo CE, so I figured I had to show them side by side to compare them a little. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.